The economy can simply be confusing to many of us. While many experts are applauding the job growth in this country, many continue to say we're in a recession. So we went to an expert to break it down and explain if our pockets are on full or damn empty.
We were shaking in our boots about a recession, that the end of the world was here, and that there would be no more jobs. But you have different information about job growth in this country.
Absolutely. And what we've seen since 2020, we look at those April numbers of 2020, where 23 million unemployed, 21 million claimants for unemployment benefits. And now we're seeing a much greater reduction in people seeking those benefits. And even those individuals who unfortunately are being laid off from tech companies, and those tech companies are exploring hiring freezes, some major manufacturing companies as well, we're still seeing continued growth and continued competition for employees, particularly in the public sector where wage increases have had an even harder time keeping pace with that 9.1% inflation. There are a number of job openings, and employers are starting to recognize that and say, okay, we've got to be more competitive. Now, unfortunately, we still may see a recession because the Fed, which is one lever in our economy, is doing their part to try to tamp the brakes on some of this inflation. So while there are a number of other areas, such as congressional spending, that need to be dealt with, the Fed only controls interest rates. That's their purview. That's their exclusive control. And so they're tamping the brakes and intentionally trying to slow us down a little bit.
And explain that for us, because when we hear higher interest rates or the Fed's raising the interest rates, we think that's bad news for us. But it is not, right?
It can be, and particularly for middle-class households who have to finance purchases, higher interest rates on their credit cards balances, on purchasing a new vehicle or financing a home. That is a danger, but it is something that we need to regulate to make sure that we don't spiral into hyperinflation or create an economic hardship long term. So in the short term, this could be problematic, but the Fed typically aims for a 2% inflation rate. So once you hit 9.1, it's going way faster than is healthy for the overall economy.
Now, when we talk about inflation and a recession, how likely is that, or are you not putting much faith in that there will be a recession in this country?
In academic terms, we're already in a recession because we've seen that contraction over 2 quarters. I see us experiencing some of those effects towards the end of this year, beginning of 2023, because we have those bull and bear cycles. It's just part of our natural economic adjustment, right? So people were waiting on orders. We finally got those filled, and now certain retailers are experiencing excess inventory problems because that bullwhip effect. And so sometimes that ordering doesn't quite align with the ramping up production and then the later need, right? When people in this region particularly stock up on toilet paper before a hurricane or stock up on water, then they don't need to purchase as much water in the future. So stores that have met that existing demand are now overcompensating in the future. The same thing with the economy. And I think we'll start to level out next year and move out of the recession back into a stronger market.
And when I think of a recession, Dr. Von Biedenfeld, I think of people losing their jobs or not working. So that's not necessarily the definition of recession.
No, typically recession deals with simply the contraction of the economic and GDP considerations, right? So we're looking at our gross domestic product, we're looking at our overall economic expansion, and when that contracts as opposed to grows, that's all that we're talking about. When you factor in employment, it gets a little bit trickier because there are so many variables, particularly in farm-related professions where the average worker is 57 to 60 years old out in our farmlands and our agricultural fields. It's expected that at some point those folks are going to leave the marketplace and retire. So they're leaving, but they're not aiming to look for other work. They're not unemployed because they were terminated or they don't want to leave. This is voluntary exiting of the job market. And some people managed to save and create opportunities during COVID where they didn't have to commute and they didn't need certain aspects and they could work remotely. And now those people are economically positioned to leave the workforce, creating more openings for younger workers.
All right, Dr. Dietrich von Biedenfeld from the University of Houston downtown. Thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight.